Hi guys, Nitro Allie here in the top alcohol pits of the NHRA 4-wide at the Strip at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I am here with our top alcohol funny car champion, Miss Maddi Gordon. Oh my gosh, girl. What did you do today?
We won the Vegas 4-wide, which is so dang cool. My dad's had a lot of success at the 4-wide, and he actually won every 4-wide he went to. So it's like the 4-wides have been good to us. Last year we lost by 4 inches, and this year we won it. So
you got some redemption.
we did get some redemption. It was kind of funny actually. We usually have radios, but this time the radios, we had a malfunction, so we didn't have radios. And so at the end of the finish line, I saw a light, but I didn't know if it was blinking or solid, so I didn't know. And actually, one of the Sadie Safari guys told me that we didn't win. And then I pulled around the corner and found out we won, and it was like, oh my gosh, so exciting.
Well, I can tell you, I was jumping up and down there at the top end when I saw that win light going on. I'm like, there's our Maddi girl. So anyway, you have had quite the wild ride this year, from starting in junior dragsters, now transitioning into Top Fuel. Tell me about that journey.
Oh gosh, it's more than a dream. Top Fuel for myself, we don't have the millions that it takes to run one of those cars. So setting that as a goal was not something that I wanted to do because it just seemed unachievable. But with Ron and his amazing partners, he made that achievable, and it's just such an honor to be chosen by Ron Capps and his whole team, and to be mentored by him. I just can't wait, and I'm really excited for the rest of this season with my family, but to drive Top Fuel next year is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
So what are you doing to kind of prepare for that journey?
As far as actually driving the race car, not much right now because licensing is going to be still a ways away, and one of Ron's biggest things is he does not want me to get distracted or confused between the two cars. So he wants me to focus on this car all year long, and then once we're done here, then I'll transition over there and kind of do more of the, mechanical and kind of learning that kind of stuff. But I did get to warm up his car this weekend. So cool.
That's what I was going to ask you. How did that feel?
It was really awesome. It was pretty cool. The general orientation of the cockpit was very similar as far as where the brake is, the clutch pedal, all that kinds of stuff. So it honestly felt very familiar. But the rumble of the race car and all the nitro pumping out of the pipes is pretty gnarly.
I saw your tears of joy streaming down the face.
Yes, well, I don't even try to pretend like I'm tough. I am a baby when it comes to alcohol fumes, nitro fumes. I'm always wearing a mask when I'm in the race car because, I don't know, I'm just crying all the time.
So, when Ron approached you and your family, I'm going to assume probably he approached mom and dad first. What happened? How did he come to you guys? What did he say?
So it's kind of funny. He actually came to my dad in Seattle and, approached him basically, hey, I want to start a Top Fuel team in 2026 and I want Maddi to be the driver. And it was just like, whoa, just very shocked, And so Ron's like, tell her whatever you want, or don't tell her, whatever you want to do. And of course they told me that night because that's just too exciting to keep a secret.
Yeah,
and they told me that night, and it was very surreal. That same weekend we ended up winning the race, and it was the 100th. I became the 100th woman to ever win a national event. So it was a huge weekend for myself, NHRA, and behind the scenes was way big. That race weekend meant so much more to people than anybody could have imagined because of what Ron approached us with. And it was pretty hard to keep my head on straight that weekend, but we got it done, so it worked out.
That's awesome. Now I know you're very active in working on the car. So what exactly do you do on the funny car right now, and what will you be doing on the Top Fuel dragster?
So right now I do the clutch on the race car. When I first started working on the car full time, I did the bottom end. So I can do motor. It's like the other day we were earlier today, we were swapping out engines. We cracked a main cap, so I was doing the clutch, and then I jumped over and helped Macy and Dad take the engine out and then swap back to clutch. But my main job is the clutch. And then next year, one of the first things Ron told me is I won't be working on the Top Fuel car, which I totally understand because he's always so busy, and there's no time, to be working, hands-on on the race car. And I know firsthand that when you can't be distracted. You have a job to do, and you can't be bouncing in and out. So that just wouldn't work. Wouldn't work on that. Wouldn't work. So I won't be working as far as like hands-on clutch work on the Top Fuel car, but I will pack my own parachutes. And Ron said I can mix the fuel if I want. So, but I'm pretty super excited.
Awesome. Well, you can tell it's definitely a family affair. I mean, just looking around, your family is just constantly hustling, working on the car. And I know that's really important to you. And I know somebody that's very, very important to you is your sister Macy, who is back there just working and working and working, you know. So I know you're very grateful. Macy, come here. Come here. So, I mean, I know you got to be proud of your sister. And, I mean, you've always just been right there. You're actually on her right side right now, you know, supporting her. How did you feel when she got the news?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited for her. She is like one of the most deserving people I know. She is so hardworking, always so focused, and this is just such an amazing opportunity. Not something that you see out here these days, and it's awesome that Ron and the crew picked her because she really is a great driver and a great worker, and yeah.
Well, I think you're a great sister and a great support, and I see you. I mean, we watched you earlier, you know, just hustling, making sure that car is ready for your sister. And honestly, without you, she wouldn't have done it. So, I mean, you're really a huge, huge part, and I know she's going to agree with me on that, and I'll let you say your little words of love.
Oh yeah, I mean, this race car doesn't go down the track without Macy. It really doesn't. I mean, like I said on the earlier today, we had a malfunction with the cam, and I had felt it when we were cranking it over. I didn't think that much of it, but she felt it, and she's like, "Oh no, something's wrong." And me and Dad were like, "It doesn't feel that bad." She's like, "Nope, something's not right. We got to fix this." And so come to find out that all three of the cam bolts were broken off, and the only thing holding it together was the dowels. So if we went out there and ran that run, the engine would have blown up, and it would have been, you know, really unfortunate. So she's a key part to our team, and she builds all the engines. The car literally does not run without Macy. Literally. I mean, she helps starts it. Like, it literally does not run.
Well, I know both of you guys are great ambassadors to the sport, and both of you started in the Junior Dragster program. What advice do both of you have to the kids that are currently in the program and kind of moving their way through the ranks and with the hopes of Top Fuel? I'll go ahead and start with you.
Honestly, like me and Maddie talk about it all the time, the junior program is the best program to get started in drag racing and to work your way up. You learn so many fundamentals as far as the tree, wheel racing. There's just so much that goes into it. And one thing that me and Maddie, when we were younger, we were always working on the car. Anything that we could do, we were like, "Dad, what can we do? Can we, you know, do this, do that?" And, you know, we just learned everything that we could. And I think that really helps, you know, with moving up and getting into the bigger classes. So I would just say, just get in as involved as you can and do as much as you can, and I think it really helps in the long run.
Awesome. What advice do you have to give?
I think Macy hit on pretty much everything. I think the only thing that I would say to young kids is, you know, sometimes some kids don't like to listen to their parents, and everything their parents say is like, "Well, I'm going to do the opposite." But if it was my opinion, you know, soak everything up. Listen to everybody, not just your parents. Listen to the older parents, the older kids, you know, and just grasp everything. And somebody told me this, somebody who's way smarter than me, but you know, if you're in a group of people, you know, smart, anybody really, if you're listening, you're learning. If you're talking, you're not learning. So, you know, in a group of people, just listen, grasp, and soak it all in, and that's really where you're going to learn a lot. And I think that's helped me a lot because I try to listen as much as I can, and I feel like that helps me learn and be a better driver and a crew member and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I know you're going through the process right now, and even you have starting in the juniors where you need to get sponsors. Sponsors are critical to any racing operation. What advice do you guys have for these youngsters as they're going through sponsorship acquisition and, most importantly, that retention?
Yeah, you know, sponsors are one of the most important parts of, you know, drag racing, any kind of motorsports. Without sponsors, you can't run. So, you know, something to keep in mind is just, I guess the way I try to hold myself, you know, you want to be on your A game at all times, and you want to represent yourself in the best way, which in return is going to represent your sponsors in the best way. You know, this sounds like it's a small detail, but you wear the right things. You wear your sponsors' logos. You know, you dress appropriately at the racetrack or wherever you are appropriate for the event that you are at, and just represent yourself in the best way. And in my opinion, just like, you know, it represents your sponsors in the best way.
Because somebody's always watching, always watching. Well, thank you so much. Again, congratulations on that epic win. Congratulations on making it to Top Fuel. I'm beyond excited. I can't contain it. And I am so excited to see what you are going to be doing in the coming years of your very young Top Fuel career. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Any parting words for your fans?
Have fun and go race.
Yeah.
Oh, have fun, go race. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in here with Maddi and Macy Gordon, and we'll check in with you in a little bit with more great interviews.